Class 8 English, The Tsunami, Chapter 2. Good morning, children. Today, we are going to do the second chapter of your lesson, of your English book, The Tsunami. You know what a tsunami is? A tsunami is a very large and powerful wave caused by earthquakes under the sea. On December 26, 2004, a tsunami hit Thailand and parts of India, such as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. Today, we are going to share the stories, some of the stories of courage, stories of courage and survival. So, let us go to the lesson, The Tsunami. This is the picture of, we have some pictures of tsunami here. See, this is a picture, how it hits the coastal plain. It's the sea coming and it is hitting the houses, the vehicles, destroying the coastal areas. So let us read a story of courage. The Tsunami, Part 1. These stories are all from Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. Archipelago. What is archipelago? It's a group of islands. A group of islands and the surrounding sea. These stories are all from the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. Ignatius was a manager of a cooperative society in Kachal. Where is Kachal? Kachal is in the Nicobar Islands. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. because she felt an earthquake. Ignatius carefully took his television set off its table and put it down on the ground so that it would not fall and break. Then the family rushed out of the house. Now here, the wife felt a tremor, a slight tremor. And she woke him up. She woke the husband. What is the name of the husband? Ignatius. What was he? He was a manager of a cooperative society in Kachal. Now, Ignatius is being careful and in order to save the television from breaking, he took it down and put it on the ground. And then suddenly the family rushed out of the house. So something happened suddenly. When the tremor stopped, they saw the sea rising. In the chaos and confusion, two of his children caught hold of the hands of their mother's father and mother's brother and rushed in the opposite direction. He never saw them again. His wife was also swept away. Only the three other children who came with him were saved. So things happened so suddenly. There was a tremor, and as the tremor stopped, they saw a sudden change in the level of the sea. They saw the sea rising. Then there was chaos and confusion. Without planning, people were acting, and so his two children caught hold of their mother's father and mother's brother's hands, and they rushed out, and they were never seen again. Ignatius' wife was also swept away. She was not seen again. Who was there with Ignatius? Who was there? Only 3 other children who are not his, who came with him, were saved. So you see, Ignatius has lost the children, has lost his wife, but he saved the children who came with him. So this is the story of Ignatius. Now let us hear the story of Sanjeev. Sanjeev was a policeman serving in the Kachal island of Nicobar group of islands. He somehow managed to save himself, his wife, and his baby daughter from the waves. But then he heard cries for help from the wife of Joan, the guest house cook. Sanjeev jumped into the water to rescue her, but they were both swept away. Now, we have a policeman here. He saved his wife. The family was safe. He saved himself, his wife, and a daughter. 3 of them were safe. But Sanjeev was trying to help the wife of the guest house cook, Joan. In trying to help the lady, the wife of Joan, he jumped into the water. But both of them were swept away. He died. So he did not just stop at saving himself and his family. He went on to help another woman who was shouting for help. Now, let us hear the story of Meghna. 13-year-old Meghna was swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. She spent 2 days floating in the sea, holding on to a wooden door, plank. Even 11 times he saw relief helicopters overhead, but they did not see her. She was brought to the shore by a wave and was found walking on the shore in a daze. So, what happens to Meghna? What is her age? She is 13 years of age. Now, she was there with her parents and 77 other people. And she was there. She found herself floating in the sea. How was she floating in the sea? She was floating in the sea because she was able to hold on to a board, to a wooden door. The relief helicopters came to look for survivors, but they could not see her. Though she saw it, the helicopters could not see her. She was brought to the shore by a wave. Luckily, a wave threw her onto the shore, and she found herself landing on the dry land. But she was found walking on the seashore in a daze. She was not in her senses. She was almost out of her mind. So she was found walking like that. Another story is here. This is about Almas Javed. Almas Javed was 10 years old. She was a student of Carmel Convent in Port Blair, where her father had a petrol pump. Her mother, Rahila's home, was in Nankari Island. The family had gone to celebrate Christmas. When the tremors came early in the morning, the family was sleeping. Alma's father saw the sea water recede. He understood that the water would come back, rushing back and with great force. He woke everyone up and tried to rush them to a safer place. So the tremor came in the morning when the family were still asleep, and Alma's father saw the seawater receding. The seawater was going back. It was becoming very less. This was out of ordinary. This is unnatural. And so he understood, the father understood that there's something going to happen. He knew that it would come back, rushing back with great force. So he woke everyone up and they tried to go to a safer place. As they ran, her grandfather was hit on the head by something and he fell down. Her father rushed to help him. Then came the first giant wave that swept both of them away. So they were running to a safe place, and the grandfather's head was struck by something, and her father was trying to save the grandfather. Then they were taken away by the wave. Alma's mother and aunts stood clinging to the leaves of a coconut tree, calling out to her. So they were coconut trees and they were clinging onto it so that they could remain floating even if they are carried by the waves. Even if they are in the water, they could be saved by clinging onto it because the coconut tree will float. They were calling out to Alma. A wave uprooted the tree and they too were washed away. Look at the force, how strong the wave is. It uprooted the coconut tree and all of them were washed away. Alma saw a log of wood floating. She climbed onto it. Then she fainted. She saw a wood. She climbed onto the wood and then she does not remember. She fainted. When she woke up, she was in a hospital in Kamota. From there, she was brought to Port Blair. So some people found her and she was hospitalized. The little girl does not want to talk about the incident with anyone. She is still traumatized. Now she is so greatly shocked. She is so greatly shocked by the entire experience that she does not want to talk about her experience to anyone. Now, these are some of the stories of people who have braved the tsunami and who have survived. Now, children, you are going to read this part of the lesson once again. Read it very carefully and do the comprehension check, true or false, as your homework. Please do it nicely and submit it in time. Thank you very much. Good day.